The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting of July 14th, 2025. We'll bring it to order. No presentations tonight. Can we have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Councillor Veroba, Councillor Johnson. Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Up next, we have a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting on June 23rd, 2025. Councillor Dabowski, Councillor Elliott, questions, comments, all in favor? Carried. Original communications, delegations, and petitions. Government relations, transit assistance for people with disabilities funding. So we go through a process. Did you want to explain the process at all, City Clerk?
Thank you, Your Worship. The TAPD grant program is for transit assistance for people with disabilities. So it's basically SMILE services. They apply every year for an operating grant and a capital grant, and this is the operating grant, and they've been allocated $73,051 for this year.
Excellent, good to hear. Thanks for that, all that work getting that for them. We have a motion to approve. This is Councillor Elliott, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Up next, we have correspondence of the Ramada Hotel requesting a tax abatement. The 2025 property tax assessment did grow rather large on them this year, with the old SAMA assessment as well. So last year property taxes was in the 54,000 range. This year we are at the 112,000 range. So do we have any, we have a couple people on Zoom call here. Did you want to add anything? Gurpal or Sarp, did you want to add anything before we?
Yeah, I would like to give you some background about essentially what's happened here.
Great.
So, am I allowed to proceed and just kind of walk you through the history over the last little while?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Perfect, thank you. So, hello, council members. I'm the external accountant for this property. I'm based in Ontario, in Toronto. And then my accounting firm provides the day-to-day accounting for this property. The owner of this property is Gurpal Bajwa. He's currently outside the country. He's in India, so he's also on the Zoom call. And he'll jump in from time to time to kind of explain things a little bit further. So I'll get started. This property was purchased a year and a half ago in January 2024. The property was purchased for a little bit less than $1 million. At that time, the property assessment was based on a value of $1.4 million. And then now the value that's been calculated is $4.2 million. And like you said, the property tax assessment has increased from $54,000 to $112,000. And we had, so when the property was purchased, the lawyer had used their address for all the correspondence with the city in terms of a lot of these assessments would go to the lawyer's office. The initial assessment that was issued where we could, I guess, challenge this assessment, we never received it. So we've confirmed with the lawyer if they've received any type of letter. They have indicated they have not. So they've sent an email saying these are the four different things that they had received, and then we've included them in the package. But the initial assessment was not received. So the property tax notice was dated June 12th, and then we received it through email from the lawyer's office June 18th. That's when we realized that the property tax assessment had increased significantly. The same day, on June 18th, we emailed Trina And then, this shows our urgency and how seriously we took this. So right away we got started in terms of challenging this assessment. And then Ms. Trina confirmed that the assessment looked high and indicated we should connect with Norma at the SAMA office. So we tried to connect with SAMA. My office left a couple of voicemails right away trying to connect with SAMA. We weren't successful, and Gurpal was out of the country. He was in India, and right away he flew back to Estevan. And then on June 27th, Gurpal visited the City Hall and met with Ms. Trina, who confirmed the property assessment had increased from 1.4 million to 4.2 million. She also indicated that this was some type of error that had happened, and we need to connect with someone at SAMA. And then the next day, on June 28th, Gurpal met with Norma in the property tax office, and Norma looked at the other properties in the area and recognized that some type of error had occurred. She indicated after seeing her documents that given the increase, something just wasn't right. However, that was Norma's last day, and I think she was retiring the same day. So she sent an email to Elise, who was her successor, and Trina, notifying them of the error. And then on July 3rd, Gurpal met with Elise, who also confirmed the error, and she indicated the value was actually 1.3 million and 60,000, which is even less than what the old property value was. And then she told Gurpal, hey, this just seems like an oversight. You don't need to worry about it. Go back and relax. We're going to send you a DocuSign link. You'll get it in the next 15 days. Sign the DocuSign, and then everything will be back to normal. Then Gurpal booked his ticket to fly back to India to be with his family. And then when he was at the airport, that's when he got the call from the city, and then they indicated, hey, no, there was some type of reassessment that needed to be filed, and we're outside that window. So that's what kind of brings us here today. We're looking for fairness with this property assessment. It seems like there's something I missed here in terms of calculating the value for this hotel. It's Gurpal's had it for a year and a half. I, as the accountant, can confirm the property is losing value, and some of the other properties in the area, including the Quality Inn, they're bigger in size with more rooms, but their values are a lot less. So we're looking for some type of remedy here today to figure out what we can do from here. And then when this property was purchased, Gurpal's originally from India. He had a property here in Ontario, and when he visited Estevan, he fell in love with the town. Small town, great people, close to the U.S. border. He's been a huge fan of Estevan, and he's looking to do more business in the town. And eventually he wants to move his family from India all the way to Estevan. He really enjoys the town, and he spent quite a bit of time there over the past year and a half. So he's wrapping up his affairs in India so he can actually move to this town. So I'm here to answer any questions that you might have, but we're just trying to figure out some type of remedy for this situation. And there's no money in the bank account where we can just write the check. The property's losing a significant amount of money, so it's going to take quite a bit of time to rebuild the business and everything.
Very excellent. Councilor Verba?
Thank you, Worship. Thank you for your presentation. So I'm just was curious whether or not when the SAMA sent out the assessment form and you had the reminder from SAMA, at any time were those forms filled out and sent back to SAMA?
No, we never received those forms. So it was the lawyer's address. So the lawyer, being a third-party lawyer, has confirmed they never received those letters either. They received 4 documents, which they sent over to us, but it kind of even helps us here to support our position that we never received it.
But it says here one of the letters that you received was SAMA requesting the assessment form, and then also you did receive the reminder from SAMA requesting that. Those were the 4 documents that we have sitting here. Canada survey request, a letter from SAMA requesting that we complete the assessment form, a follow-up reminder from SAMA, and the final property tax notice from the City of Estevan. Those are the 4 documents.
We were under the impression that there is another form that they send out where you can fill out a lot of the information and send back, and we never received that.
Okay, so maybe that's what you're referring to in the pre-assessment letter?
Correct.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I have looked into it, and it does say that cities can change after the roll is closed. We're able to change the tax bill versus the assessment. And then next year in 2026 is when the assessment would actually be changed. So if we decided to do that tonight, would not actually be changing the assessment of the property. We would just be adjusting the bill. However, my question is, if as a city, we are to adjust the property tax down to the $54,104 that was last year, out of the $112,847.19 cents, how much of that is school taxes, and will the city be on the hook for those city taxes?
For the school taxes.
Sorry, school tax. Yes, my apologies, school taxes.
Councillor Verova, if you change this, then we will write that note to the schools and they will adjust it accordingly. So we will not be on the hook.
Okay. Yeah, because it is my opinion that there was definitely some conversation going back and forth here, and especially when SAMA, admittedly talks to you and says that basically there was an error in the assessment. We know that the assessment will then be changed next year because you already have that in documentation from SAMA. So in my opinion, I do think it would be unfair to continue with the assessment of $4.2 million this year when we know that it was missed. I think the part that was missing is the actual formal appeal. And I think the other part where I'm hanging my hat on is the fact that if this was my property and I was talking to SAMA, who are the experts in the assessment process, if they didn't say right on day one, has the appeal been filed? Did you file your appeal? And even like with our city staff, if we didn't say, I haven't received your appeal, has the city been appealed? I think that's the part we're missing, is sometimes maybe Salmon, I know she admitted her mistake and said that basically she didn't realize that the appeal hadn't been filed. So there's a little bit of blame, I guess, to go on both sides because, again, as a property owner, a commercial property owner in the city, and you own property in other cities, you would think that you would understand that when you get your assessment, then you have the 60 days in a reassessment year to file. But, yeah, I would like to hear from other councillors before I make a recommendation, but that's just my thoughts.
Any other questions, comments out there? Councillor Johnson?
Yes, Mayor Cernick. I read this over and, there's lots of things in this email, and it's good to have some representation here tonight to have this explained to us even better. But so many errors, so many conflict of questioning and trying to get the answers to SAMA. It sounds like there were some grave mistakes made, and obviously they're running a top-notch program to do these SAMA tax assessments all across the province. And when the computer, or when their program throws a number like this, that's like $3 million higher from last year's assessment, that should be a red flag that's just, out there. And it shouldn't even come from their office to our city here and having us to deal with it. It should all have been handled, in my view, at their location and at their address with trying to determine what's wrong with the program in order to determine this. And even if they have to come down and take a look at the property and go through it. Because there seems to be some grave areas of discussion about what's in the property, like a meeting room and a laundry room and things like that, that they have to clear up still to this day. Values have gone down, obviously, so in their reassessment of the property. I think it's too bad, that a business has to endure this type of shock, I guess. And we did have some other things that was pointed out to us with overtaxation earlier on with some properties that were maybe having a hard time to pay for their taxes. But in this case, I say this one individual and having this property with this concern, you know, the mail gets shipped all across Canada, probably to Toronto. Is this where you have your lawyer at, Gurpal, is in Toronto picking up the mail for you? Is that where he would have received the letter, or where's this lawyer doing the business?
Here in Saskatchewan, the lawyers.
Okay. Okay, so it's not in Estevan, but, you know, mail gets shipped all over the country. We lost a letter. The letter might have got lost with Canada Post. Who knows? But anyway, long story short, I have a tendency, and I'm leaning towards agreeing with what we have on the books here tonight with, you know, keeping the property tax for this business at a set value of what it was pretty much last year, and revising it maybe next year with this SAMA group.
Do we know where Sam is sitting on this, city treasurer? Or, like, they're just like, see you next year? This is how SAMA handles a situation like this?
So Sam has said that they've already made the changes for next year, so all of this change will be fine next year. It's just this year, they don't have the authority to make that change. That would only be made by council.
So it's basically our budget taking the hit. Councilor Verova.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I just wanted to point out, though, too, the difference between, in my opinion, this and someone else who just didn't file an appeal is this business owner was actually actively, once he recognized the mistake, attempting to fix the error. And when he spoke with SAMA, granted, SAMA was under the impression that an appeal had already been filed, so she spoke to him like as if everything, all the ducks are in a row, the paperwork has been filed. That is where I think the biggest issue is because had he not gone forward and actually attempted to fix the error and just thought, yeah, we'll see where the ducks lie later, that's where I would have a problem with, because the onus is on the business owners or the property owners, if it's residential, to watch their assessment, take a look at it. If it's overvalued, file the appeal, or they do actually say to please speak with the city tax assessor or SAMA first before even filing the appeal to see if an error can be found. So I would make the recommendation that we proceed with going with the taxes based on last year's assessment, and then that would be for the amount of, I'm just going to get back here.
54,104.04.
54,104.04. And then next year, the reassessment, obviously the changes have already been put in, because I think it's unfair to pay the $112,847.19 when we already know that our hotel industry in this town, in this city, has been taking a hit. So, yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Do we have a seconder? Councilor Johnson, any more discussion, questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Everybody's in favor? Sorry. Yep, okay. Carried. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Just that these guys are still on.
Yeah, so obviously kind of that's the decision for you tonight there, Sarban Gurpal. And, you know, basically, hopefully we can keep communication going here. This is obviously a big mistake on somebody's part. We won't say their name. We all know the name of it, though. And it's too bad. Every assessment year, the last few that I've been involved with is, it's been an adventure, just to say. So thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for bringing this in. And like I said, let's keep in communication.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Up next, written reports of committee. Estevan Arts Council minutes. We got March, April, May. We can do them all in one?
Yep.
Do we have a motion to accept these? Councillor Waleser, seconded by Councillor Dubowski. Any questions, comments, Councillor Dubowski? This is your arts, okay. Nothing there. All in favor? Carrie, Dave, you all in favor of that one? Awesome. Executive reports, water quality report for June 2025. Do we have a motion to accept these? Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Dubowski. Any questions, comments? Councillor Verba?
Thank you, Worship. So I noticed a Facebook post that we are having some issues with smell and possibly a little bit of taste in our water. due to the circulation of the water. So I had a few comments about it, and I just explained that it was no problem. We had this happen last year, but just thought I'd mention that there is no actual health issues with drinking the water. It's just because of the fact that sometimes with the hot water, the heat, right, the water kind of heats up and it doesn't have the movement. Am I explaining that properly, City Manager?
Thank you, Worship, Councilor Baroba. Yeah, so when there's the large temperature swings in the heat, there is, because of the elevation of where the intake is now in Rafferty compared to Boundary, there is an algae bloom that happens. It has happened in the last 4 years, I believe, since we've switched to Rafferty. I know the manager there is trying to do flushing to be proactive. I know it's a little less than it has been in the last years, the smell and the taste, so Matt Angel is on it, but yeah, just I agree with you, everything is safe with the water to drink and consume, and hopefully within a week any odor or taste is gone.
Excellent. Did we get a... Oh, all in favor of water quality? Carried. Up next, land development permit building report for June 2025. We have a motion to approve the permit report. Councilor Weiser, seconded by Councilor Dubowski. Questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Up next, land development for 1515 Wellick Road. The city has received an application to develop a property on 1515 Wellick Road for residential use. To enable the proposal, the applicant has applied for zoning approval to amend the Hawke's Bay architectural requirements to allow for a moved-in building. Recommendation is that council support the proposed bylaw and provide final readings. Do we have a motion to accept this? Councilor Veroba, seconded by Councilor Johnson. Questions, comments on it? All in favor? Carried. Now we are getting into introduction of bylaws. Seeing none, public hearings and reports. So the land development for the zoning of 1515 Wellick Road development proposal. We'll get a public hearing there. So is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on the proposed land development services report on zoning of 1515 Wellick Road? No one? We got to do a second call. Is there anyone in the gallery who wishes to address council on this particular matter? Second call. No one stepping up? The city clerk, please note that no one for the public hearing. And do we have to get a motion to approve this public hearing? No.
Approve the application for recommendation, which is the second. Go up. There's the recommendations right there.
Oh, it is recommended that council consider approval of the proposed development subject to the following conditions. Number one, all applicable standard conditions, compliance with all the applicable Hawke's Bay architectural requirements as set forth in the city zoning bylaw, exterior finishing to be the same or similar provided in the existing homes within the neighborhood, permit to be obtained from the city engineering to address dual service connection to the subject property, and passage of bylaw 2025-2098. Do we have a motion to send this to second, third readings? Councilor Weiser, seconded by Councilor Dubowski. Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Now we are going to consideration of bylaws, correct? All right. Up first, though, bylaw 2025-2097, repealing bylaw for inactive cemetery bylaws. We had first reading, so second reading. Do we have a motion to approve this bylaw? Councilor Johnson, seconded by Councilor Elliott. Any questions, comments on this? Seeing none. All in favor? Carried. Can we have a motion for third reading on repealing the bylaw for inactive? Councilor Dubowski, Councilor Elliott. Questions, comments? All in favor? Bylaw approved. And up next would be the bylaw 2025-2098 for the Wellick Road we were just talking about. So second, do we have a, who wants to make the motion for second reading? Councilor Veroba, seconded by Councilor Elliott. Any questions, comments on it? Seeing none, all in favor? Off to third reading. Motion to approve third reading. Councillor Walizer, seconded by Councillor Dubowski. Questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Are we at inquiries already? Councillor Roba.
Thank you, Worship. So I have quite a few comments that come to me and concerns regarding bylaws. And so I checked with City Manager, and just to confirm, the phone number is 306-634-1620. So if you have a bylaw concern in your neighborhood and you want to call that in, feel free. If they're not there, they'll probably have an answering machine. You just leave a message and they'll get back to you. And then also our Community Wellness Committee has our games night tomorrow night at Creighton Lodge at 6 p.m. and that is open to the public, so people can come. You can bring your games, you can bring your kids. If it's nice weather, we may have even some outdoor games there. And then next month in August, it'll be the third Tuesday of the month, and it will be held at the Tech Hub over behind Affinity Credit Union. So we're looking for a permanent home in September to start, but these game nights are there to help people who maybe feel more isolated or don't have a lot of things going on, or maybe you have lots of things and just want to get out. So it's geared basically towards everyone, but the purpose is different for everyone that comes. So we encourage you to come tomorrow night, 6 p.m., Creighton Lodge. I'll be there, and there'll be cookies. So.
Excellent. Just to touch on the bylaw that you brought up, City Manager.
Thank you, Your Worship. Council Verbal. So it's 634-1520, just to clarify that.
I don't have my reading glasses on, so I wrote it down
And
wrong. Sorry.
as of last week, we do have a new bylaw officer, Justin Herod. So he'll be addressing some of those properties along with other individuals over at the fire department. There is also the email of bylaw@estevan.ca that people can report them to. We do have a new bylaw internal system, so we can be providing reports and updates to councils as required on that as well. So hope to see some positive change in our ability to handle bylaw complaints as we move forward.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Councillor Elliott.
Nothing, Your Worship.
Nothing tonight. City Treasurer.
Nothing, Your Worship.
City Clerk. Assistant City Clerk.
Nothing, Your Worship.
Councillor Dubowski.
Thank you, Your Worship. Actually, yeah, this was a couple weeks ago at this point, but I did go to the Centennial for Torquay. I was actually there for the car show, and I also did a speech on behalf of Estevan, and I just wanted to say it was a really great event that was put on by Torquay. So all the organizers, everyone that had a hand in it, congrats to you. It was good, and there was a surprising amount of cars there, actually. A lot of nice ones I haven't seen before. So yeah, there's a lot of nice events going on. So I'm glad to see that many people out there in such a small community and enjoying themselves. That's it.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks for filling in for me, and I had compliments on your little speech there, so that was awesome. Thank you. Councillor Johnson.
Yes, Mayor Cernick, it was my pleasure to attend the Sarcan Recycling grand reopening over the GFL on that property over there. And it's really nice to see such a nice new building. And when you walk into it, it's just, so open. So many stalls where citizens from around the community, in the community, can drop off their bottles and cans. They still have the drop and go service on the side. Also, all of the different recycling that they're taking in, it's going to really help Estevan. It's really going to improve on all this recycling that we're trying so hard at to capture in Estevan. So it was a pleasure to go there. Most of it was all the ministers from the provincial government and their delegation that was there, and they're very pleased with the facility. There were some people also from the Estevan Diversified Services and stuff like that. So it's great to see. I'm not sure what's going to happen to the old building there that's over there presently, but there might be plans for that. But definitely that's an asset for the city of Estevan, and it's going to be well used. The other thing that I would like to point out is I stopped in at Kinsman Play Park on the weekend, and I did witness, the people that are contributing and trying to get the surfaces there ready for the courts that were so, needed in Estevan. Estevan. These courts are going to be used for the seniors in order to play, a sport similar to what tennis is, but it is essentially, they're over there working and they're grinding the surface and they're trying to get all the defects out of the pavement, and these courts will be ready hopefully this year, and they all, have them all lined out, and there's some fill that has to go in some of those surfaces, but that work's continuing on, and kind of went around the community looking at unsightly properties, and there's been a few that have really popped out at me, and like all of us on council, we get these phone calls. And there's a lot of people that look after their properties and they're trying to do a good job. And with all the rain and all the weather that we've had, nice lush lawns, and you get a guy that doesn't look after their property, it really just stands out these days. So all the lists that I have comprised, I've offered it to the city manager to pass along to the bylaw control officer. So when you see a property, if you notice a property, give them a call, let them know that this is not welcome in the city of Estevan. We just won the Golden Garbage Can, so we got to have something to keep ourselves proud. So thank you. That's all my comments this evening. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Yes, and the Sarcan looked well attended there. Thanks for representing there as well. Councillor Leeser.
Thank you, Your Worship. A much anticipated event each summer is the pancake breakfast held at Roy Ludwig Churchill Park. That's happening this Thursday from 10 until 12. There's an opportunity for kids to get up close to the fire trucks. They'll have the pool open as well, and the new play park is done with its new surfacing structure under the swings as well. So just an invitation to the community to come out to the pancake breakfast. And then this Saturday is the street dance happening on 4th Street, and tickets are still available for the adults in our community. The one inquiry I had tonight is about our fire department's role in the wildfires up north.
Perfect. Thank you, Councillor Leeser. So this is a fairly new development, so we brought in Deputy Chief Kyle Luke, who can speak to it a little more.
Thank you for your inquiry, Councillor Walliser. So late last night, we did receive a phone call from the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency regarding equipment and manpower to be sent up north if it was possible. So between Rick and myself, we reached out to all of our guys. We did manage to come up with a crew of 4 people. They did deploy this morning. They are off to a community 950 kilometers north of here. We are up there. We are doing structural protection. So when we deploy, the city still has adequate fire protection. So we sent 4 people, 1 equipment. We still have an adequate amount of equipment in the city, as well as 16 firefighters ready to respond for any emergencies we do have within the community. The duration of our deployment up there is 12 days. It's not saying that our guys there are there for all 12 days. We can switch out halfway through, or if fire conditions change where the public safety agency feels they could release people, they could deploy our guys back to Estevan in that case. The fire we are assisting on, as I mentioned, we're doing structural protection in a hamlet called Patuanak. This fire is currently 150,000 hectares in size. On this job on this fire as well, we have Type 2 wildland firefighters, which are from the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency. We have Type 3 wildland firefighters, which are from Saskatchewan First Nations and all the northern community firefighters. There's also the SPSA emergency response teams, helicopters, air tankers, irrigation specialists that are out there setting up the sprinklers to protect all the homes and infrastructure, as well as numerous fire departments from within the province. So thanks to our guys that took the time. These guys, they didn't have to go. They took the time off work. They managed to make it all go. They're going up there. They're sleeping in tents. They're doing it all for the province. So good on our guys. If there's any questions.
Councillor Verba?
Yes, I think that's excellent. Kudos to all of you for being involved in that and making it happen. Just a financial question. Is this a commitment from the City of Estevan that we will be paying for the expenses for the next 12 days? Or does that fall under provincial and then they reimburse the city?
So how that works is, yeah, we have a contract with the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency. So our guys get their hourly rate when they're up there. We have an agreed upon rate with the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency that they pay us. So typically we're 12 hours a day, for the time that we're up there. It could be more, but it is an hourly rate that we're compensated for.
Excellent. Councillor Dwowski.
Thank you, Your Worship. So, yeah, I just want to say, like, I was actually up in the north a couple years ago. I went to Buffalo Narrows, which is sort of around the area that's currently on fire. And yeah, I just want to commend your guys that are going up there, or who might go up there still yet, with helping these fires, because they're really bad, and you know the north really needs the help up there. So yeah, just big commendations for your guys up there.
Yeah, and thank you for that. One more note I'll put in here too. As of today, just so everyone has an idea, there's 55 active fires in the province. 4 of those fires are contained, which means that suppression is taking place, but they're not expecting the fire to grow in size. 12 are not contained, so suppression action is taking place, and the fire is expected to grow in size. There's 21 that are an ongoing assessment, which means the fire is being monitored regularly to assess risk to values in the area, and 18 are protecting values. So the fire is active, and the action's focused on protecting the values in the area, such as the cabins and infrastructures. So at this time, there's over 1 million hectares of the province that is on fire in the north. If you think about it, we are pretty lucky where we are sitting geographically. We don't have to deal with this, and I just kind of thought, you know what, if it was here, we would want people coming to help us out, so glad that we could return the favor.
Excellent, thanks for that. Councillor Leeser.
You mentioned that we currently have 20 members of the Estevan Fire Department. Are you looking at recruiting again this year?
So we have an active recruitment going right now. In years past, we've always opened it for like a month or so. We just didn't find that we were getting the amount of people we needed. So we opened it in June, and it's open until August 29th this year. So we'll take it for 3 months, hopefully get more applicants this time. And once school comes back in and people are done summer holidays, we're gonna have another open house, get people there. We just want people to bring their families, bring their children, come ask questions, see what it's about. It is a huge time commitment, and we just don't want to get people in there, then them realize that this is more than I thought it was. So hopefully we can get some more members out of that. We would like to be back to like the 27, 28, but unfortunately, sometimes we just lose people because of the time commitment.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Councillor Leeser. Good. City Manager?
Nothing out of your way.
Nothing, Dan? City Clerk? Nothing tonight. Oh, well, it's been it's crazy the amount of events that go on in this city. We had the sod turning for Pebbles to Rocks, opening of Film Art. I don't know, is there anything else we can add to happening? I guess everybody went through their events. July 1st celebrations were excellent everywhere. The Sewers Valley Theater is going. We were at the opening night for that. So many things going on. If I missed them, I apologize, but that's really all we got for tonight. So can I have a motion to move into committee? Councillor Veroba, Councillor Elliott, all in favor? We will move into committee.
If you'd like to share your feedback on the program you just watched, contact us today